Tonight on Country Squire Radio, you've tuned in to the pipe smoker's aficionado creme de la creme of pipe smoking podcast knowledge and all other things that you might enjoy. But what if you can't get the best of the best and you're stuck with the rest? We're talking about that tonight on Country Squire Radio. We're also going to be talking about a pipe question related to make your own what? Stay tuned to find out. Quickfire questions and more happening right now on a returning Country Squire Radio. Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau. Good evening, dude.
Good evening, man.
I always feel so happy to have you back. You know, you go out of on these major adventures all over the country and sometimes the world. And, man, went and visited some great friends and, of course, family up in the Midwest. And,
absolutely.
Dude, we got you back. We got you back.
I'm back.
Drinking the hoodoo. Got your your beard core shirt on. It just feels good to have you right where you're supposed to be.
I'm telling you, and actually, you know, that it feels appropriate wearing the beard core after I have so recently, hugged beard core. You know? These arms are within 48-hour period have been around the actual beard core.
You haven't washed them, have you?
No.
Why you don't? I forgot you don't bathe.
No,
that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to. But no.
Depends on if it's date night.
But absolutely, that's so it was great kind of getting out, but always good coming home. And yeah, we've got actually some great stuff happening here in the hometown. Of course, we've got the Jackson Pipe Night that's coming up pretty soon in October.
Dude, it's exciting. We finally announced our Jackson Pipe Night, which we will be featuring, of course, the slow smoke competition. That's going to be on October 28th. So October 28th, that's late October, Saturday. That evening, we'll have, food, strong drinks, live music, just all the things we come to expect at Jackson Pipe Night. That'll be right here at the Country Squire, sponsored by, of course, the Squire and the Magnolia Pipe Club. And our slow smoke competition this year will feature a blend we have not determined yet. But it'll be forthcoming, and then you'll be able to come by and get your tobacco to practice up and all that kind of stuff. So, we're excited. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We like to go ahead and get that date out relatively early so people can start planning their schedules.
That's
and all
right.
That kind
That's
of stuff.
right.
So,
get to training, get on the track.
That's right. That's right.
Hit the machines.
Hit the old machines, and just get ready.
Get the team to make weight.
Try to build the calluses up on your tongue.
Right.
I think that's more probably appropriate.
That's right.
But it's going to be great. So October 28th here at the Country Squire in Jackson.
It's going to be fun. And, longtime listeners know the last 2 years that we've done the Pipe Night here, I've been able to live stream them.
Live streamed it, right?
Yeah, we did it from Periscope the first year. I think we did Facebook Live. The next year, I'm not sure which one it'll be, but stay tuned on all the social media channels as we get closer to it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think both these last 2 years, regardless of which service it went live on, I was able to upload the video to YouTube. So people have been able to see me get moderately better year over year. And so I'll have to go back and review to figure out.
I'm glad as one of the judges that I actually can't compete anymore.
Oh, I know you are, because we know about
because now
truth.
You've gotten to the point now where you would beat me on a consistent basis. Well, you have.
I was about to say
you have beat, but I think it would happen on a consistent basis. Yeah, but which is nice. I'm sure Mrs. York loves this because that means that you've learned to keep your pipe lit long enough in order to keep your mouth shut. So I think that the adult pacifier thing is working. You know, it's not really lost on you.
Well,
that's great.
It is something when you go home and you go like, oh babe, I'm going to long smoke competition. It's going to be great. And then you come home 15 minutes later and she's like, what happened? That's no good.
Oh, I swear that never happened.
Right. Well, 1 in 5. But anyway,
right.
So one way or the other, that's going to be a blast. So be sure to join us for that. Again, that's going to be October 28th here in the Country Squire. If you've ever wanted to make a trip to Jackson, that sounds like a fun time to do it.
Of course, a good reason to go to Fort Worth is the Texas Pipe Show.
Ow! Pew, 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 pew. Get on, little doggies.
October 7th at Pop Safari Room in Fort Worth, Texas. We're really excited about that. Country Squire Radio, of course, is one of the sponsors for that. We'll be doing the blend for their slow smoke competition. We're excited about that. Details to come there. But I think it's gonna be great. I think booths are still available. Is that right?
That sounds right, and we'll be corrected if it's wrong. But one way or the other, check it out.
Carvers are first come, first serve on the carvers. I think if you are a pipe carver, you get your booth for free. And then they've got availability thereafter for people that make accessories and other goods as well. So, but anyway, we're really excited to be there, and man, get fired up. That's first Saturday, I believe, in October.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast, and it's coming up quick. Is the thing.
This time of year always flies, right? So we get kind of, the fall's going to be busy. The fall's going to be busy, and then you're in November.
Yeah, seriously. And then it's like the turkey's being served. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
What? I know, like, did I just black out? What happened? Like,
I got to tell you, man, we do. Obviously, it's going to be a blast, and we will be on site. But I do think some sort of official Country Squire Radio meetup, either pre-show or post-show.
Yeah, we'll do some. We'll be there for a couple nights, I guess.
I think it just makes sense to me that since we will be in the great state of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas,
it is a great state.
And since we will be enjoying some pipe tobacco, of course, the pipe shows are known for the pipes. They're also known for the pipe tobacco. Texas, known for barbecue. It just seems. It seems to me.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to wriggle this conversation in that direction.
Always.
Look, I mean, no, at some point we'll have a barbecue.
Country Squire Radio meetup in Texas. That is the time.
No, I'm just saying, the logistics might make it difficult. At this point, I'm just pulling out any excuse to not do
I'm
this,
telling you. Dragging, kicking, and screaming. We'll get to that.
I just, we love our pairing episodes. Squire selects are great, but barbecue and pipe tobacco. Man,
all right.
We'll see what the future. Maybe we'll get desperate, and that'll just happen.
Aren't we?
That could. Aren't we? Oh, but aren't we?
Oh man! All right, so we got obviously these great things coming up in the future here, but this past week was a very eventful one.
Yeah,
in the lives of yourself, myself, the listeners listening at home and abroad, and I'm talking, of course, because not only this past week did we have one Country Squire Radio listener meetup, we also had 2 Country Squire Radio listeners.
We had 2
in 2 different sides of the country.
That's right.
Simultaneously. So,
That's
ladies and gentlemen, as announced last episode, we had in one amazing night the GR versus Mississippi CSR Meetup 2017.
Ow! And the trophy goes to.
Oh, it's us. it's the Grand Rapids.
GR1. Right. GR1. This is what's great. We had a local event here right in Jackson. There's a neighborhood we live in, both Beau and I do. And they have a street festival each week. And I was like, let's use this as an excuse to get folks together. And each year. And, let's get folks together. We'll go out there, smoke our pipes, be visible pipe smokers amongst these thousands of people, drink craft beer, and, get wave through the Mississippi humidity, which is basically abuse. And then after that, we'll go back to the porch, at my house, and sit on the porch and stay up late drinking boodles and other sundries and smoking pipes. And that's what we did, man. It was great. But our we had a nice turnout, but it wasn't the Grand Rapids turnout.
Well, the thing is about the good folks, the listeners up in Grand Rapids, is they know a thing or two about a couple of things, and not the least of which is fine tobacco.
That's right.
They've got some great tobacco up there. In fact, we were gifted by the Grand Rapids, the Furniture City Pipe Society.
That's right.
Their club blend, their 2017 club blend, double fudge brownie.
That stuff is so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Right after Chicago, y'all may have heard me mention this. Of course, our good friend Eric up there at Indian River, was part of the group. He collaborated with a couple other folks. No, actually, I forget the gentleman who's this was the brainchild of a gentleman in that group. I forget his name. And if someone from Furniture City is listening and could tweet that in, we'd love to pub his name. But he worked directly with Eric to make this blend. It's got a ton of perique in it, but it's not harsh at all. This is a really great, savory, rich, semi-sweet blend. It's just really, really nice.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it, man. I was able to sample a few tobaccos while I was up there, but that one was definitely a standout. And like I said, they were kind enough to gift us a little goodie bag.
Such a good tobacco. That tobacco, that pipe club, the Furniture City Pipe Society, of course, in that part of the world, it's one of the I think just most dynamic pipe clubs in the United States. We hear about it regularly through different avenues, and of course, have several good friends that are up there. And the Midwest, of course, just has such a strong pipe smoking tradition. These guys are, do a lot of things with, the other surrounding pipe clubs. They've got Paul's Pipe Shop right down the road, and these are people that are all into the culture and so we're proud to have a lot of friends there.
Absolutely. Doing a great job out there. Shout out, by the way, to Eric as well, who is kind enough to host us at
great guy.
Indian River Tobacco Traders out there. Just
hoping to get up there next year. I really want to get up there next year. That's kind of a goal of mine.
All right, man.
Is to do that. Yeah. So
you can help me survive the in-laws. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, no, it'd be fun. Right.
So
we'll bring the Southern shenanigans to the Midwest.
All right. So we do have.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
in as much as we can. All right. So let's just break this down real quick, because these were the tenets in which it was going to be determined as to who brought it. Although you've pretty much conceded at this point. Quality of pizza served. Did you have pizza?
False.
Did you have any kind of food?
We had food truck food, which included pig and grits, which is pulled pork and grits. It wasn't very good. Okay. Although the idea is great, right? The idea is great. There was also some ribs being served, various other things, and lots of hot dogs.
Oh, all right.
Depending on your pizza, this could go either way.
Okay, so let me tell you what we had, because we did not have pizza. We had homemade goods brought by one Beard Core. Yes, he made no. He made bacon wrapped shrimp.
Except not even
instead of shrimp, it was sausage. So it was bacon wrapped little sausages.
So why would you even mention shrimp in the title of the dish?
I was trying to make it classy. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. He also made this like bread recipe that was like smothered in this amazing like Gouda cheese.
That's great.
It was insane. He kept on insisting that like underneath the cheese, the bread was sliced.
Right.
But it's like you had to flip it over just because the cheese was just so dense.
It was there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, man, that's okay. So point probably goes to the Michigan Grand Rapids
I think
Club,
so.
Right?
All right. Amount of beverages. Now I know at your house, you got a full stock.
Yeah, we could probably compete here. Yeah, we went through 2 bottles of gin, a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of wine, and countless Shiner box.
Oh snap! Okay, yeah. All right. Fair enough. Fair point.
Yeah.
We had a couple of bottles of wine.
Okay.
Beardcore did bring 2 very hard to get beers.
Okay.
One of which I had and was delicious. But I think probably the show stopping number is we actually had a bottle of homemade coffee liqueur. That one of the guys he'd actually made. Yeah, they do this annual Big Lebowski night. and one of the dudes he makes this. I mean, he walked us through like this recipe and everything else, and I mean, you could tell he puts a lot of time and effort into it, and it was delicious. And it was kind of the coffee liqueur they use for the Caucasians that he likes to drink on the Big Lebowski.
That's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
That was delicious. But in terms of quantity, it sounds like you
we won.
All right, tobacco variations.
Basically everything that was smoked on my porch was non-aromatic.
Oh, well, we had more variation then.
And if it's variations, then you probably win.
But I got a hard time on like I walk in there.
Right.
Look, I'm telling you, man, those Grand Rapids folks, they don't mess around. They're like, oh, here comes Mr. Aromatic.
These are real pipe smoke. These are real pipe smokers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we got you on that one. And then crazy photos. I saw like maybe one, and it looked very tame.
No, it was unfortunately tame.
All right. Well, ours was pretty tame, but we did have a lot of selfies, so I think we got you on that.
Good. Okay. Yeah. I overall, look, I think the points go to the Grand Rapids Country Squire Radio Pipe Meetup, and we concede, we're humble about it, but next year.
Oh, you know what's kind of fun? This is the last thing I'll mention about it, but Eric mentioned to me that when we review tobaccos, whenever we have tobacco talk episodes, if he's got the tobacco on hand in the shop, he'll put up a sign that says, as seen on Country Squire Radio.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't that cool?
I like that. That's great.
Anyway.
That's great.
All right. Well, big thanks to everybody who was able to show up. Such a blast. But all right, one last thing. I know I said that, but I got to mention this. This past 2 years, I think 3 years, honestly, that we've had the meetup, it has been on the birthday of 2 guys in Grand Rapids who show up to the meetup on their birthday. Now, here's the fun thing.
Oh, gone.
They're both named Scott. The Scotts come for their birthdays, man. Like, I love it.
That's great.
One of which, of course, Scott Elv, who's gifted us pipes in the past.
It's funny. I was actually going through my pipe collection the other day, just kind of doing some organizing and cleaning and stuff. And I found this beautiful olive pipe that he had made a couple of years ago. It really reminded me to be sure to reach back out to him and thank him for that pipe. So,
man, his work has gotten really fantastic. I took a
That's
picture
awesome.
of one of his pipes that he had with him that was just really, really cool. And it's one of my favorite things about the meetup is seeing his work. He's got this like leather bound like a book like this. I mean, it looks like this huge like Bible, like ancient Bible essentially with all kinds of sketches of the pipes that he's working on, and then just also some of his artwork, and just a fantastic artist, man. I love what Scott does.
That's cool. I'd love to get to see him again someday.
Well, so here's the thing, man. When it comes down to it, the reason I was in Grand Rapids in the first place is because, of course, to visit the in-laws and get a chance, the kids get to see their grandparents. My wife gets to see her parents. It's a real special time. But also, what I love to do is I love to go fishing. Specifically fly fishing. I never get a chance to go fly fishing here. And there's a little spot in Rockford, Michigan. I actually shot some videos this time around, and I was able to enjoy my pipe, got out there, actually had some white rose with me that I was smoking and enjoying. It does attract bees, by the way.
White rose does?
Yeah, because the flowers.
Oh, the honey. Right. Yeah. No, that's good.
Not really. But so here's the deal. I
think you're the one that attracts the bees because you haven't bathed in a week.
No, it's because I'm so sweet. I thought that's
where
you were going with
that's
it.
right. Yeah, that's right.
So I was out there, I was enjoying it, enjoying this white rose because I had brought a good little amount to share with the folks for the meetup, and I'd had a good half of it packed in this little Captain America, a little pouch that I had.
Oh, you would.
Well,
Captain America tobacco pouch.
So if you've ever gone fly fishing, the best way to get out there is to literally get out there, put the waders on, get out into the water, and start casting. And that way you have no interruptions with trees around you, and you can do some fun stuff in the middle of the water that's rushing towards you. And, you see a lot of fishing vests and everything with all the various pockets to store your various fishing
you see all the people with the little stuff stuck all over within their hats and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. The more pockets, the better. Well, so the reason, of course, is because not only do you carry your fishing gear, but for me, I carry my pipe, my lighter, my tobacco, everything on me.
Right.
Well, so here's the deal. I start wading into this
hold on. Now I see where this is going. I was like, why on earth are we getting a play-by-play of Beau's fishing expedition?
No,
but now I see where this is going. That's great.
I was smoking my pipe, and of course, we have literally done episodes on how to smoke your pipe while you're fishing. And I did well. I did everything that I was supposed to and did not lose my pipe. However, I stored my pipe tobacco in my lowest of pockets in my vest. And of course, I'm a short guy. We're hobbits out here.
Yeah.
And so as I was wading into the water and it started lapping up against me, I'm like, oh, don't worry, Captain America is going to protect my tobacco.
False.
Not the case, man. It got.
Oh, we found like a weak spot for him. Man.
When he throws his mighty shield, all those that oppose his shield must yield. But apparently he threw a shield, and so therefore the tobacco must yield. And so one way or the other, I came out with soggy white rose, which is just the most egregious.
Soggy
thing.
Rose. That's nasty.
Oh, it was gross.
That's like, the Lancasters basically win at that point.
The sad thing is I did try to dry it and smoke it.
Did you really?
It didn't go very well.
Mixed with like fish water or whatever. That's just foul.
All right, so here's what happens. It's all said and done. I've cried over.
We're getting to our topic. Right?
Getting to the topic here. I've cried over my soggy wet tobacco, and I now find myself in, no offense to Rockford, which is a beautiful town, but essentially Nowheresville, Michigan. I'm sure
Nowheresville, any state.
I'm sure there is a great pipe tobacco shop somewhere there. But at this point, my phone is dead. I don't know anybody.
There may not be.
I don't have a means of like getting around. I'm in more waders, and all that is around me is a gas station.
Right.
And so I have to ask myself the question.
Right.
Do I not smoke my pipe while I'm fly fishing?
Right.
Or do I go to the gas station and
and take a chance?
Well, I was going to say dumpster dive, but yes. Because you have to understand, I only have ever smoked like premium pipe tobacco.
Exactly.
In my entire, like I didn't have my, Captain Black, going to the
you're experiencing, going to Walgreens at your very first and getting the Captain Black and trying to, figure out pipe tobacco. You started with the good stuff. Right?
I started with the
with the single malt.
Yeah. I was going to the boutique stores, man. I've been riding the high life this entire time. This is the first time I had to get down there with the
diving.
well,
okay. So that kind of leads us to, we thought this would be fun to explore because this was kind of something that presented Beau a challenge, but also on my side of the counter, we hear this a lot at the shop. We'll have people go out of town, and they'll say something like, they'll come in first thing Monday morning, right? I open at 10 o'clock Monday morning. I get here at 10. They're waiting outside and have been waiting for 20 minutes. And I'm like, and it's this old man who just got back from a trip or something, and he's sweating bullets because he was he went out of town and he didn't pack enough Cherokee, or he didn't pack enough Black Arrow, or he didn't pack enough Orlick Golden Sliced or something like that. And he had to, as you say, dumpster dive. He had to go to.
I probably shouldn't have said
No, I think we should own it. I think we should own it and run with it.
All right.
But he had to go to a go to some 5 and dime thrift store somewhere, the Piggly Wiggly or whatever,
Right.
and get whatever tobacco they had there. And that was what he had to do for a couple of days. And so you see the sense of relief when finally the doors of his tobacconist opens. And this could be said too for other folks. Maybe you mail order your tobacco and you didn't order it soon enough, and so you're at the bottom of your bag and you're like, man, I've got 2 bowls of this luxury Navy Flake left. Am I gonna have to go to Safeway and see if they've got something stuck under the counter? Like am I gonna have to do that? Yeah. And so we kind of thought we'd talk about tobacco to buy either when you're in the middle of nowhere or when you're in a pinch.
Like, what are you going to do in a pinch?
Yeah.
That's
what are you going to do in a pinch? Yeah. So anyway, obviously we've got the idea where no tobacco shops are available. Maybe you're in an area that you're just not familiar with or whatever, but this happens more than you might think. As I mentioned, folks, they'll go out of town and kind of have this deal where they get stuck, or a lot of folks in Jackson as well. Our shop is closed on Sunday. And so like all things that are closed on Sunday, including things like Chick-fil-A, the day you most want Chick-fil-A is on Sunday. And for a lot of folks, the day they most want the Country Squire is on Sunday, and we're just not open Sunday. And they can't get here. And so it's this big mess. And so when I see them Monday morning, they want to, kiss me on the face because it's this rapturous event. So anyway, so you're stuck with this tobacco that you'll get. And so we're going to talk about it. Now, this is going to be kind of fun because there's a few different ways we can look at this, right? Are you getting the tobacco just to get you through? Okay. Is this, just assuming you're just going to go buy some tobacco and you're going to be like, man, I'm going to just have to smoke this until, next Tuesday, and then I'm going to throw it away? Or are you going to try to get something that maybe you'll, enjoy ish and maybe can use in other ways as well?
It's like your relief hitter. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's got a place in in your rotation, so you might keep it back and maybe use it for some other things. Maybe you'll blend with it, or something like that.
You put it on the bench. Just it rests on the bench.
All right. So I want to introduce. We're going to introduce something tonight, Beau. I'm really excited about this. And I haven't told Beau about this, but we're going to introduce a new grading system. And this is just for over-the-counter pipe tobaccos. Okay, so the new proprietary Country Squire radio grading system for over-the-counter pipe tobacco. Okay, this is and this is it's called the Hamster scale. Okay. This is called the Hamster scale.
Hamster scale.
It's the proprietary grading system of Country Squire radio for over-the-counter tobaccos. It's the Hamster scale.
All right.
And the Hamster scale is incredibly useful because, with over-counter tobaccos, of course, some of them are the most storied tobaccos in history. We've got, things like Prince Albert, Carter Hall, Sir Walter Raleigh. Some of these tobaccos might be fine on their own, and others really are only useful as lining the bottom of your hamster cage. And so the Hamster scale becomes very useful because on the low end we've got the 1 hamster and 2 hamster rated tobaccos.
Okay,
these are tobaccos that are decent tobaccos. They might have standing in their own right. The 4 and 5 hamster rated tobaccos. These are tobaccos that are going to absorb a lot of hamster refuse.
I gotcha. So the higher they are on the Hamster scale,
that's right,
the more they're likely to end up in the hamster cage.
In the hamster cage.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right. So we're really excited tonight to announce the proprietary Country Squire radio over the counter grading system for tobaccos.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah. So this is good. Anyway, so we've got a few options. Let's say let's just kind of break it up. I think on the front end, if you are a aromatic smoker, right? Okay, so you go into the gas station or the Five and Dime or the whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm an aromatic smoker or I'm a non-aromatic smoker. So what are some of your options here? Okay, now the tobaccos we're going to talk about tonight, this is not like an exhaustive list. Obviously, there's just as many over-the-counter tobaccos as there are 10 tobaccos or house blends like we have at our shop. But these are just some of the ones that you might find kind of readily available, and ones that either we recommend or we just think are worth noting.
All right, yeah,
and so the first one I want to mention, if you're out and about,
have we stressed enough how this is not a Squire selected?
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Right. Yeah. So the first one I'll mention for our aromatic smokers, if you're out and about, and you can't find any, or you're out of your tobacco and want something that isn't going to make your tongue, what does Jim Gaffigan say, melt like one of the insides of those hot pockets,
Hot pocket.
Yeah. And so the first one I would recommend you maybe take a look at is Captain Black Dark.
All right.
So Captain Black, of course, Captain Black is the best-selling pipe tobacco in the country. I mean, hands down, premium or not premium. I mean, it's the best-selling tobacco in the country.
One of the oldest.
I don't know how old it is actually, but I know it's been the best-selling tobacco in America for at least 50 years.
Right.
A really long time. Of course, now it's made by the Lane Company, which we know and love.
Oh,
and,
yes, absolutely.
which is teamed up now with Scandinavian Tobacco Group and all this, and they really churn this stuff out. It's pretty amazing. But Captain Black Dark, this is their version of straight black Cavendish. Okay, and so this is like it again. We're talking this is Hamster scale tobacco. So we're talking if Lane BCA kind of stayed outside a couple of days and maybe picked up a few granules off the sidewalk or something, then,
right?
Then it might be like kissing cousins with Captain Black Dark. Yeah, but the nice thing about Captain Black tobaccos, whatever you want to say about them, they're almost always semi-moist in the package.
Mm-hmm.
They're well processed.
The look of struggle on your face right now.
They have they're just they're always they're consistent. They're very consistent tobaccos.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And so
they're always there when you call.
They're always there when you
but they're
call.
not always
That's
on
right.
time.
Well, and the great thing too about like something like Captain Black Dark is that these are tobacco. This is a tobacco that it's just black Cavendish, and so like if you get home and all of a sudden you're like, oh, thank goodness, I just got back to my house where I've got my cellar, I've got my jars of tobacco. You can actually take this Cavendish and mix it in with something.
So that's the thing, right? It's
right.
There's an ingredient component to it still having, regardless
some purpose.
Yeah.
Some usefulness. Right. It still can be useful. So you get back to the house and then you've got this tobacco and it's and you can throw it in with maybe some cherry tobacco or one of your other favorite aromatics. So on the Hamster scale, I give the Captain Black Dark a 2 hamsters out of 5.
Okay, all right.
So this is a decent over the counter tobacco that I think could have some purpose. Once you get back to your cellar.
I mean, Captain Black. I mean, that it's going to hold a origin story place for a lot of pipe smokers out there.
A lot of pipe smokers. You start that was where a lot of folks kind of get their start at.
That's all things considered, 2 hamsters. That's not a bad place to start.
2 hamsters. It's not too bad. A couple others that I'll mention: Paladin, Black Cherry. This is certainly a dry tobacco, but it's very, the ones I'm mentioning tonight, they're just very readily available. So you'll see these around. Paladin, the Black Cherry is popular. This is certainly a dry tobacco. It's one of those that, you can see physical sugar crystals like on the tobacco where the tobacco's been cased with the stuff.
Right.
That and also Amphora tobacco. Amphora, their full blend has actually got it's a full aromatic is what they call it. But they're both, these are both tobaccos that are, heavily cased, but then heavily dried out. And so gonna burn a little on the hotter end. I'd probably give both of these tobaccos a 4 out of 5 hamsters.
Ooh,
yeah. So that's a 4 out of 5 hamster. And then a great one too. And I want to acknowledge them for this. This is something that, you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and maybe the only thing in town is a drugstore. And if you're lucky, maybe that drugstore is Walgreens. And I want to give a shout out to Walgreens. Okay.
Okay. A rare shout out to Walgreens.
So let's say you're an aromatic pipe smoker and you're stuck, you're in a pinch and you can't find anything. that you ran out of your tobacco or whatever. So you go into a Walgreens, and Walgreens, they are one of the few national drugstore chains that still do tobacco related products. CVS, of course, has gotten rid of all their stuff, and there I know there was a lot of pipe smokers even around Jackson when CVS was marking down all their corncob pipes and stuff like that. They would go rush there and get that. But anyway, Walgreens still has some, and I remember vividly when I was working at Walgreens in high school. I'd wait. This is back. We've talked about it before when the tobacco was out in the middle of the shop, right?
Right.
It wasn't behind the counter. It was like, I mean, you could see the cigars and the pipe tobacco. It was on the same thing as the greeting cards, out there in the shop. So I'd wait till, I didn't think my manager was looking, and I'd just take, that big bag of, crummy Walgreens tobacco, and I just bury my nose in it, just smell it. It just smelled so good, And when I turned 18, I wanted some, and so I didn't wind up getting those big bags, but I wound up getting the Captain Black, like you mentioned. It's an origin place for a lot of folks. But
so that's the thing. I remember your origin story. It's always resonated with me. And so when I found myself in that place, that was the first thing I looked for was Captain Black.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting much, but I knew that I had come up on the show several times.
That's right.
This particular gas station, not of Walgreens quality caliber,
right?
And so did not have Captain Black.
Well, and that's the thing. Captain Black can actually be harder to find than you might think. But one thing Walgreens will almost always have, which is nice, is this Blender's Gold pipe tobacco, and it comes in this generic biscuit can looking thing.
Yeah, I look at it and I think of like those cheese sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The little gift cheese stick type thing. Yeah. But this is Blender's Gold. They come in a bunch of different flavors, and these generally are found in huge bags at Walgreens, and I'm talking like you can get a 1 pound bag of this stuff for maybe $20 or something. I mean, it's just a really, really inexpensive buy. But they come in a variety of flavors. The burley and black is really popular. This one I've got here on air tonight is the golden burley. But this is tobacco that is decidedly aromatic, but it's generally always relatively fresh. So
wait, they call that golden?
Yeah, and golden. Golden,
it's like the champagne of beers.
Yeah. Hey, now, hey, that's
sacred cow.
That's a different conversation, right? But when you talk about inexpensive tobacco, and I'm going to be gracious and call it inexpensive tobacco. The word golden, when used as an adjective for a tobacco, typically just means lots of sugar.
right.
Like, there's nothing golden about this. There is no golden burley that is, lying in here in weight, making you feel really excited because it's some special type of leaf. This is a golden burley, which is just doused in sugar. But the nice thing is it's kind of smooth. It's real soft in the can. And so I'm only going to give this a 3 hamster out of 5.
Wow.
This is a
solid. I would have thought you would have given that more hamsters, because you're right. I mean, like, you open this up, you feel like you're smelling a snow cone.
The great thing though about and again, this is the Blender's Gold. This is tobacco that you can use afterwards, because it's such a fluffy.
In your hamster's case,
No, this only gets a 3 hamster out of 5.
All right.
But I mean, it might wind up a little bit in the hamster cage, but
some of it.
Yeah, but you might get home and decide, this might kind of make a little stronger blend, maybe out of one of my real soft cherry blends, or I might want to mix this with a vanilla, a really sugary, syrupy vanilla blend or something to dry it out some, or something like that. So this might be of use. So we're going to give the Blender's Gold a 3 out of 5 hamster rating.
All right, so I'm seeing a theme going on with, like, it's there, it exists. If it's on the kind of 3 or lower score, it can still kind of facilitate seasoning of various blends.
No, I think so.
Okay,
I think so. Okay, so moving into the non-aromatic category. So you're a non-aromatic smoker. You're the guy that only smokes Cornell and Deal Cajun cake or something.
Right.
And you walk into the Piggly Wiggly looking for pipe tobacco. You're really just out of luck. Okay, now we're going to present some options for you, but the thing about pipe tobacco on a over-the-counter scale, any hamster scale tobacco, are going to be heavily flavored, heavily cased with almost anything. The one that I might mention that I think does provide a good option. And it can be kind of hard to find, and when you do find it, you have to buy a bunch of it. But that tobacco is Granger. Granger
Granger.
Granger is old fashioned tobacco. It only comes in a huge 12-ounce can, like coffee style tin,
Oh, wow.
and it's got a really cool little dog on the front of it. It looks like my dog Penny. It kind of looks like her. It's this little pointer dog, and Granger is just a big can of tobacco, and it's just mostly burley. It just tastes like tobacco. There's not really a whole lot sweet going on. It's one of those that, if you want something to smoke that's got a little vitamin in it, you're not really worried about room note. It doesn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad. It just kind of, it doesn't burn your tongue terribly bad. It's pretty good tobacco. And so Granger's nice. It stays fresh for a really long time. It's made by the folks at Scandinavian Tobacco Group, and if it's sweetened at all, it's just a semi-sweet tobacco.
Interesting.
So Granger is where I would give you your first option. This is a one hamster on
One hamster.
one out of 5 hamsters.
It's barely even on the hamster.
It's barely on the hamster.
You know what I
It
really
is.
like about this? Because I pulled up some imagery on it and just did kind of a Google search for Granger pipe tobacco, and they've got these classic like Granger jars. Like I guess today the coffee can is the preferential storage.
But I mean, you're looking at almost like, what is that, like porcelain
Yeah, I
stuff?
was about to
Like
say,
a little
yeah.
tin, almost like the tins you get Christmas cookies in or something.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something very, very special. They
Yeah.
had some interesting
Well, it's just
classic marketing going
Again,
on
this
back
is
then.
this is a tobacco that, as far as American tobaccos go, it's going to be probably up there in the more storied ones that have just been around for a little while. So Granger, I think on the hamster scales, one hamster out of 5. Granger, this is good. It's good tobacco. You can blend with it very readily. I've actually got a couple customers that do blend with it pretty regularly. And it's fun to use. So the only thing about Granger is when you buy it, you got to buy a bunch of it. It only comes as this big coffee can tin.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to think about.
All right.
The second one I'll mention is our old and faithful servant, the Prince Albert pipe tobacco.
The Prince Albert.
Prince Albert. This again, everything you're going to find on the market over the counter is going to be flavored in some way. But Prince Albert's nice. I was actually smoking some tonight. Again, this is not. It doesn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad. It's just tobacco.
So just one hamster?
Yeah, it's just this is a one hamster tobacco.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Prince Albert. This is a one hamster tobacco. It comes in, of course, the trademark kind of red box. Used to be a red can that we all know and find at antique stores and stuff like that. But it's good tobacco. It comes with this exquisite soft luxury pouch.
Now that does look like a little coffee pouch.
It even says in a little Starburst thing, soft luxury pouch inside. So you're getting something fancy. And of course, this is precious tobacco. This 1.5 ounce bag of tobacco cost me $2.79 at the local drugstore.
I hope you didn't break the bank on that one.
I may have to eat ramen tonight, but
you gotta do it.
But
although ramen's getting kind of expensive these days.
Ramen's getting kind of pricey. I don't know. Yeah, but but anyway, this little luxury pouch, it comes just very soft, and it's just got a nice little feel to it. But the Prince Albert, of course, this is a tobacco that's been around a long time. It's incredibly available. I mean, you can almost go any thrift store, not thrift store, but dollar store type place or wherever and find it. Grocery stores have it a lot. You may have to go ask someone to pull it or dig around under the counter, but this is one of those that you can find pretty readily available. So
and Prince Albert, that's another one of those kind of like Captain Black. It's a household name.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Also not one that was available at my gas station that I was at.
Yeah, it's so strange,
in Nowheresville,
man.
Michigan.
Golly. So another one that you might find, of course, this is going to be a little higher up on the hamster scale, is the Captain Black Gold.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Black Gold, if you're a non-aromatic smoker, this is just kind of a mellow, you might make it, I don't know, it's probably like a Virginia Burley blend. There's probably not a lot of information about it, to be honest with you, but it is, what I do know about it is it's the Captain Black that has the very least amount of flavoring. And so Captain Black Gold, this is a tobacco that you can, again, just kind of smoke. You're going to get a little more tongue bite with it probably than the Granger, or even perhaps the Prince Albert, because it is probably sweetened a little more, but just something to keep in mind. And so that gets a 2 hamster out of 5
2 hamsters.
rating. Yeah.
All right, for the gold Captain Black.
Now, if you're desperate, and I mean, like, doing things behind the gas station that you're not proud of, kind of desperate.
Yeah.
Which sometimes, if you're a pipe smoker and it gets to that point, I mean, you may have been out for a few days and you're even scrapping up like pine straw off the ground and trying to put it in your pipe.
Are you talking so desperate that your tobacco that you brought went into the lake and yet you still tried to smoke it kind of desperate?
I'm talking that kind of like Beau York last week in Grand Rapids, desperate.
Well, I wasn't in Grand Rapids because they've got some great pipe shops in Grand Rapids.
No, that's true.
I was
That's
in
true.
Nowheresville, Michigan.
That's right.
Where there was a gas station that was the only thing walking distance. And
Right.
this gas station, like all of these fine hamster tobaccos that we've talked about.
Right.
Nowhere to be seen.
Right. Except
for
our friends at who won't be friends after this. Our friend our good friends at Largo Pipe Tobacco.
Oh man.
So Largo, this is a tobacco company that you can Google them. That's a positive thing. They come in this really real Americana pouch. It's got this real kind of exquisite aroma seal technology.
It is aroma seal technology. I will say this about the pouch.
It says Seal Light trademark.
Oh.
The resealable Seal Light pouch.
They
The pouch actually has a zipper in it.
They're very proud
It's
of
got
that
it's got a little Ziploc thing.
It's got a Ziploc thing. I will say it does
Yeah.
kind of remind me of some tobacco that I actually purchased in Italy. Almost all of the tobacco products are actually very much
and it's good because you bought it in Italy, right?
Okay. Hey, that's where the briar comes from, okay?
Well, the tobacco comes from here, okay? So our good friends at Largo, it's like they took every kind of outdoor motif they could find,
Right.
and they threw it onto this cut up coffee bag thing, and so this is the red label. It's the regular label. You can buy literally a pound of this stuff for a nickel.
The red one
online.
The red one is the regular one?
The red one is the regular one.
Right.
And
it even says
that because it says regular at the top.
Yep.
But you can literally buy a pound of this stuff for a nickel online. They've got like I said, with the outdoor motif, we have a duck. We have several
surrounded by antlers.
We have by deer antlers, very large, kind of cradling the word regular. We've got geese
struggling to hold it up.
Geese overflying a log cabin, which maybe looks like it's amongst some pines or maybe some aspen trees, and then of course there's a mountain in the background. So you just got if you're in outdoors,
there's a mountain underneath the cabin.
Underneath the cabin.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Look, we really shouldn't bash too heavily.
No, I mean
imagery.
They worked hard. Some graphic designer, he fed his family for a week or two on this.
Look,
so that's great. So on the back of it says Largo Pipe Tobacco was born in the great outdoors. Whether you're fishing, hunting, or just sitting around enjoying nice warm campfire, you'll savor a smooth smoke our blenders made for your enjoyment. And by the way, Largo is coming your way at a price we know you're gonna like too.
Hamster scale.
Yeah. So okay, this pouch of tobacco, you open it in the seal tight pouch. It is literally the driest tobacco I have ever ever opened. And I look, I say what you want to about me, about the Country Squire, about the show. At least you got to say, I do this every day. I'm pretty familiar with tobacco.
You've had some experience.
I've been around the block a few times. I've seen a lot of stuff come through the shop. I've seen a lot of different tobaccos. This is like pencil shaving.
Woo!
Okay, so like it is just. I mean it is really something.
Now you can go there, man.
Yeah,
look, this is all they have. Why am I? I don't even want to.
You don't want to smell it?
No, I got my. I've got my
someone get the
fill.
Epsom salts, right?
I got my fill when I was there because I looked all throughout this gas station. I even put on Twitter right beforehand, like, "Hey, everybody, I'm at a gas station and I need some advice on what to get." All of these names came through, many of which we've discussed tonight. Nobody once ever mentioned Largo, and yet that was all they had. They had big ones, small ones, medium ones, And so finally I pick up a pouch and I'm looking at this thing because I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I am a co-host of like
the number one pipe smoking podcast in the world.
Yes. And I have never heard of it. And look, y'all know me. I forget things all the time. So, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I would at least have some recollection of this coming up.
So this tobacco, okay, let's talk a little bit more about it before we grade it. It has it does the redeeming characteristics are here, right? So typically, if you find yourself in the middle of Nowheresville, Michigan, United States, wherever you are, if you're in Nowheresville, there's a good chance you may run up into some other troubles. You might need a kindling for a fire starter. You might you may need something kind of soft to put under your sleeping bag that night as you camp, right?
I feel like this would be a little too hard for that.
Yeah, I mean, you may I don't know, maybe your pillow doesn't have enough down feathers in it. You need to stuff it with something else. That's I mean, there are things we can use this for, but certainly the Largo pipe tobacco merits a 5 out of 5 Hamster on the Hamster scale.
I will have to concur that is the case. I tried because I got it out there. They got me with the marketing, man. I'm like, all right, well, this maybe, even though I've never heard of this before, this might not be just the worst thing in the world. Like you said, they've got the duck and the thing. They don't have any fish on here. Maybe that should have been my tell.
I think that's the tip off. Yeah.
But regardless,
well, it tastes like fish, so that's good.
It tastes like, well, anyway. The thing is, I loaded up my pipe. I got back out in the water. I puffed it for as long as I possibly could. Did not finish the bowl because I was like, I'm not doing this. And I threw the rest of it away because I was like, I just cannot do it.
No, people, you typically buy pipe tobacco to to enjoy. So anyway, if you're out and you are a non-aromatic pipe smoker and you need something that it can help in an emergency situation where it's cold and you're looking for something combustible, this is the pipe tobacco for you.
5 Hamsters.
Yeah, it gets a solid 5 Hamsters.
Yeah, it's
and I stand by that.
Great tobacco when you need to start a fire or take care of some business.
That's right.
Hamsters.
Very absorbent.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well then, we're gonna get some feedback on this one.
I think the good folks at Largo Pipe Tobacco Company will be thrilled.
Yeah, they probably won't be that thrilled about it. But hey, guys, you got your customer base, and
no, that's right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
And here's the thing: I'm not necessarily thinking about the emails we'll get from Largo, although that will probably come back to bite us in some form or fashion. But no, I'm thinking about every tobacco. I say this about movies as well. Every single movie that has ever been made is somebody's favorite movie. Every single tobacco that's out there is probably somebody's favorite tobacco.
That's exactly right.
I got to tell you, I am sure there have to be some Largo fans out there, and if you enjoy it and you want to put us in your place, by all means, send those emails.
Actually, we want to hear from you.
We really do.
If you are a Largo tobacco smoker, I want to hear from you. I want and will honor and welcome your critique and pushback, and would love to know what kind of things you do with this pipe tobacco.
to an extent.
Right, but we got limits, right? I mean, it's a family-friendly show.
All right, so here's the beautiful thing, man. Yeah, I was stuck out there, and I had to partake in tobacco that is honestly just beneath my. I didn't even think I was a snob until I had Largo. but regardless, it was something I'd never smoked before, and could you imagine having smoked this in one of in a briar pipe that I had seasoned with some amazing quality white rose?
I almost put it in this Costello tonight.
Oh,
I almost did.
Oh,
I almost did.
Tragedy.
But I didn't. Tragedy averted.
Well, here's the thing: because I was enjoying my pipe on the in the beautiful waters of Michigan, and because I was out there, we've talked about it before. But when you're out there and enjoying your pipe in treacherous potential situations, and not just the water, of course, I'm talking about tobaccos that you don't know if they're good or not. You need a pipe that's going to be a good, clean, quality smoke, just so you can make sure that you can smoke no matter what you want in it. You can put some Largo in your pipe, clean it out, baby. You are good to go back to your white rose.
That's right.
And that's with a quality pipe from Missouri Meerschaum.
That's exactly right. Tonight we're talking, of course, about the Missouri Meerschaum Little Devil.
Look at that little devil.
And this is the Acorn. It's one of the better selling pipes from Missouri Meerschaum we've got now at the Squire. It's one of their newer shapes. It's a short pipe, traditional Acorn style bowl, roundish bowl with a nice pointed bottom on there. Just has a real nice feel in your hand. Short shank and short stem, kind of that Lavat style. You'd
Oh
call that the
yeah.
little straight with the kind of tapered stem on there. Real handy pocket pipe, but a pocket pipe with a generous bowl. So this is great for smoking tobaccos again that you've never smoked before. Missouri Meerschaum pipes are just historically and world renowned for being so incredibly inexpensive and accessible to the everyman, and we're proud to support them. And and we would love to know if you have ever smoked Largo in your in your Missouri Meerschaum pipe.
We hope that you haven't done that, but we do hope that you are enjoying a good quality Missouri Meerschaum pipe. And hey, if you are smoking a Missouri Meerschaum pipe, be sure to smoke it this week. Take a picture of it, selfie. If you actually have one of these little devils, would especially love to see those this week. Tweet those into us. We'll retweet them out. It's a great way to let the folks know at Missouri Meerschaum you appreciate them for supporting this show. Quick fire question. Wait, nope. Man.
You always do that.
Well, not always.
I love it.
A little rusty. That's all. Pipe question of the week this week comes in from Brian G, who asks, "Hello, hi. As a third generation smoker, I'm a big fan of Country Squire, and all that you do. I was looking for some guidance on making some homemade black cavendish." He says, "I ordered about half a pound of burley, half a pound of sweet cured
Virginia,
half a pound of smooth flue cured Virginia. Does anyone apart from Country Squire know anything about a good process for making the black cavendish, and have any recommendations on reading this material on the subject? Thank you." Again, this is from Brian G.
Man, Brian, great question. This is something a lot of the folks that enjoy pipe tobaccos that want to start experimenting by themselves at home maybe don't have the luxury of a tobacco shop. I mean, that's the beauty of what I get to do. I get to come up here and get paid to monkey with all this stuff all day. It's pretty amazing. But and I don't have a real job, but but the thing is, if you want to do it at home, you kind of have to go all in and figure out resources. Okay, where am I going to buy this stuff? Is it appropriate for this or this? How do I flavor it or store it or keep it or whatever? So it can get kind of complicated if you're trying to do something as making Cavendish at home. Cavendish, of course, what makes Cavendish special, as we've talked about before. Cavendish is not a type. It's not that's not the name of the plant or the variety of the tobacco. Cavendish is the process the tobacco goes through. Typically, as you said, Virginias and Burleys, which make the tobacco. The Cavendish is a steaming, typically pressing process that gives the tobacco a nice, soft, fermented, natural sugar flavor to it, which is really pleasing and is incredibly versatile. So Cavendish is everywhere. It's all over the map, and a lot of folks love to start there when they're trying to make their own stuff at home and just figuring out different tobaccos to home cook and home experiment with. So all that to say, this can be a little tricky to do. Now it looks like you've ordered a quarter pound of burley, of your flue cured Virginia, and then a sweet flue cured Virginia. A few things. Most people that start making Cavendish at home, they actually will use whole leaf tobacco. And so that might be one thing. I don't know if the tobacco, Brian, you ordered was whole leaf or not. But typically, folks that do Cavendish will start with whole leaf tobacco. They'll get just kind of like you did, a variety of burleys and Virginias. You tend to see more burley, it seems like, but that whole leaf tobacco, again, you're going to take the stems and tears out of the tobacco. You want to get the largest pieces that you can. And what a lot of folks do, they'll air cure it for a little bit just to make sure it's real dry. And then they'll get a pot of water boiling really, really rapid boil, as big of a pot as you can get. And then you take a lot of folks, I'm just giving you one option, right? So there's a lot of different options here than people have done. You can read about this, just on and on the internet. But one option for you is, and what my friend actually John Michael, who lives in Papua New Guinea, he's a missionary there, and he's made his own Cavendish out there in the woods. He actually took a pot and then had like a colander that he put over that. So like a strainer that he put over that. And typically you want to do it metal, probably just, because it's going to go through a lot of heat. Put your tobacco leaves in there, and you're going to boil that water underneath this tobacco for literally hours and hours. I mean, it's going to take quite a long time. I'm talking like 5 to 8 hours. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
yeah. So
It's a lot of water.
I don't know. In the South, a lot of us like enjoy boiled peanuts. Beau, are you boiled peanut?
Yeah. The right kind. It depends
Yeah.
on the boiled peanut.
It's got to be the boiled peanut.
Yeah.
I mean, is it salted right? Are they seasoned right? Whatever.
Exactly.
Are they big enough?
You
All
get
those
the
kind of
rind. The rind. What's the grime? What do you call it? They call it the salted water. Yes.
brine.
That's it. You have the brine right.
But when you're boiling peanuts, you're constantly throughout the day while you're boiling these peanuts having to re-add water to the thing because you're boiling so much water for so long that the water's constantly evaporating from this deal. So when you're steaming tobacco at home, this is going to take a similar thing. So you're going to have to regularly go back to the pot, add more water to the pot, get it steamed back up. So you can continue to boil it for that long. So you'll watch it change color as you're boiling this tobacco. You're boiling the leaves over. You're boiling the water as you're steaming the tobacco. You'll watch it change color. There, I got it out. And so as it's going, it'll start to get darker and darker. And you may do this a few times and kind of figure out a nice medium of where you like the color to be. Once it's gotten to the appropriate darkness that you like, you'll dry it out. Some people put it on a clothesline. Some people even put it on like a hanger. Maybe pat it down a little bit with paper towels or something. And then typically you'll put it under pressure. And so this is not just pressure like you put it in a book. You're going to want to set it under something at home that's going to put it under a good bit of pressure. So I don't know, maybe gosh, if you have any kind of little press mechanism you can make, maybe use some C clamps or something, or rig you up something that can put some pressure on it. Leave it there for a couple days, and then shred it up and enjoy it. So that's kind of just a homemade 30,000 foot view way to do it, mom and pop kind of thing. Another thing too, most Cavendish you have to keep in mind, when you buy it at a tobacconist, a straight black Cavendish, even something like let's say a Lane's BCA, for instance. These are tobaccos that have been, had some type of antifungal thing put on them. It's a food grade antifungal. But what that does is it keeps the tobacco from molding. And so when you make this kind of tobacco at home, you're going to want to smoke it quick. You're going to want to smoke this quick because it's going to start molding before too long. So you just and you can monkey with ways to try to figure out how to keep them fresh and that type of thing. But anyway, just one very kind of easy, rudimentary, rough around the edges way to try to make your own Cavendish at home. Just boil a bunch of water, steam that tobacco for several hours, and then put it under some pressure. But again, typically people do start with the whole leaf, though, so you could try it with the already cut leaf and see what happens. Why not?
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like we just got cooking with John David.
I know, right? I don't even have my apron on tonight.
That's really good. Well, thanks so much for the question, Brian G. And hey, if you've got a pipe question of the week for us, you can send it in. That's show@countrysquireradio.com. Quickfire question. Ow! There we go. All right. So these come in from active user over at the forums from thispipelife.com, Ghost of Pompeii. Thispipelife.com, by the way. More about them in a minute. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Mini marshmallows in hot chocolate or marshmallow fluff?
What is marshmallow fluff?
You don't know about marshmallow fluff?
No, what is that?
All right, so it's like, how you got the outside of the marshmallow and the inside of the marshmallow?
Right.
All right, so it's just the inside of the marshmallow.
Wait, do you buy that?
You can buy it. It
comes in like a whipped can,
like a frosting container type situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess because I'm not familiar, I am going to go with the mini marshmallow and hot chocolate because I like that. But I'm open to experimenting.
Marshmallow fluff is disgusting. You got to go with the mini marshmallows all the way. Got to go with the classic. Frog legs or chicken wings?
Chicken wings.
Look, we're in the South. We know a little something about chicken wings down here.
We also know a little something about frog legs.
Have you had frog legs?
I've never had a frog leg. And I need to admit that on air with all my good friends out there. I'm from the dirty South. I've lived here my whole life. I've never had a frog leg. I don't know what a frog leg tastes like. I have no idea. So I'm going to go with the chicken wing. Is it as bad as marshmallow fluff?
So
I don't know.
I have also never had one. I was very much...
I hear it tastes like chicken.
Well, that would make some sense.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I was very much influenced by the Muppet movie. the original Muppet movie,
Yeah.
where Doc Hopper was after Kermit the Frog so that he could
Yeah.
add his legs to his. Well, no, he wanted Kermit the Frog as the sponsor of his Frog Legs
Yeah.
company, and so
There were probably some therapy sessions done over
man,
that.
there's some scary
I would
stuff
think.
going on.
Yeah.
When Animal takes the potion and turns into this giant thing, I remember
Yeah.
like this is kind of intense for me as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe when they come out with the cartoon chicken that we all grow up with, then that'll be yeah. We'll think differently.
Total reversal. If it was Big Bird being chased by Popeyes, then that'd be a whole different.
No, that's
situation.
exactly right.
All right, and then finally, The Walking Dead or Z Nation.
I don't know what Z Nation is, but I do like The Walking Dead.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I picked all the things because I didn't know what the other things were.
I feel like that was the theme this week. Right?
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, I'll have to go with The Walking Dead.
I am not as familiar with Z Nation at all, but I will say that for me personally, when it comes to the dead men walking, right now I'm all about Game of Thrones. White Walkers, right there. I'm gonna add Game of Thrones into the mix.
There it is.
They even made a reference on an episode a couple weeks back when one of the characters who did not believe that there were the army of the dead, who's like, these walking dead men. Like it's kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to these two like powerhouse television shows.
That's good. Yeah, I like
That's
that.
good. But anyway, yep, there you go. All right, thanks so much, Ghost of Pompeii. Again, he is over at thispipelife.com, where you should be as well. It's an amazing online community. They've got some great forums, some great pictures. And here's the wonderful thing. When you sign up at thispipelife.com and use the code CSR, it's absolutely free to do. Now, all fairness, it's free one way or the other, but do it. Head over to thispipelife.com, use the code CSR. It's a great way to let them know you appreciate them for sponsoring this show.
I'm just disgusted as we get into listener feedback because our friend Gene Boker, he just sent in a GIF of these frog legs, and they're separated on the plate. They're ready to be grilled or whatever you do to frog legs, and they're just wriggling.
Why are they moving?
They're wriggling.
Things I did not need to see.
I have no words. Yeah.
It's Kermit, or maybe his nephew. Listen to feedback.
That's right.
This week comes in from Mark VV.
Oh, dude, look at this.
All right, now Mark VV. Now he actually did come up for the Mississippi meetup. Right?
Mark did. He did. He drove all the way from Kenner, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans to come hang out and stayed at the house this weekend. Hung out with me, brought his family, and we had a great time.
All right, so he sent this one in a while back during our 200th episode, and I've had it in the wings for a while. But what did Mark VV send us?
Oh, that's great. He said, Beau and John David, been a while since I've written in. Figured it was about time. I think you guys already known about my fervent passion for CSR and pipe smoking in general.
Accurate.
Yes. But first, let me just take a moment to congratulate you guys on how far the show has come. 200 and something episodes. Woo. And how successful the CSR Pipe Club has been. You guys deserve all the accolades. Secondly, man, this is really gracious. I always have trouble reading some of this because I'm like, it's just
that's why I make you read them.
Really, you don't want to. It's really incredibly honoring. He says, secondly, the pipe shop pet peeves episode is easily my all-time favorite, and I'm glad to hear it'll be a returning topic in the future. As someone who works in retail banking, I can wholly commiserate with the woes of dealing with the less than savory. It is always good to let off some steam. Lastly, I just wanted to verbalize my complete rejection of a pipe tobacco and barbecue pairing, not only for John David's sanity, but also because it wouldn't want to see any poodles or actual brisket harmed in the making of that episode. Barbecue poodles, this would not be a good thing.
Mark VV, come on,
Beau
man.
just looking at disdain at the camera. Given Beau's obvious disregard for the lives of our curly, furry friends, and lest we forget, he puts his absolute disdain for my Lancaster and White Rose pairing ahead of Isley's safety from my car.
I think he's threatening my dog.
I think he just threatened your dog. Yeah.
This really took a left turn. This email is
so dark, man. I know. I think staying away from all things barbecue, honey, and poodles would serve the CSR community well. Let's keep the tobacco separate. On a more serious note, best wishes, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. And that's from our really good friend, great friend, Mark VV.
I'm sorry that I missed him when he came up. I was gonna say how
would
sorry
you barbecue
I was.
a poodle?
Well, now I might.
With if you had a poodle,
if Mark VV has a poodle,
I know.
I'm just kidding. Don't threaten my dog, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, he threatened your dog. But,
there's just some things you don't do.
Well, I mean, they're now we have reasons to not more reasons to not have a barbecue and tobacco pairing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't know why we would pair these things. Anyway,
No comment.
it's
I will
great.
say this: Mark VV is is famous for being the online John David Cole cosplayer with his John David Cole costume. He has now, as I understand, has acquired he has acquired a Beardcore baseball T-shirt and and some sort of cap.
Fantastic.
Although it is not my brand cap. So I know he's working on his
he's getting his Beau stuff down.
He's getting the garb,
which I appreciate. Some other feedback from our live audience. We've got Chase Abels. He says Largo is an insult to hamsters everywhere. A nice meme for Beau that says on a scale of 1 to 5 hamsters, baby, you a 5. Beau York at thispipewife.com. That's from Mark VV. We've got just a lot of folks. Our friend Chase, again, he says, I hate me some Largo. That stuff is garbage. Lots of great hamster tweets. I'd like to mention also, if I can find it quickly here, Portland Paul says it's tomorrow is his 19th anniversary.
Hey!
And so we'd like to wish Portland Paul and his wife a happy anniversary.
Yeah, cheers to you guys.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Really, really great. Congrats. Yep.
Very good.
Don't smoke Largo or preferably do anything with hamsters or poodles.
Yeah, or barbecue,
or
apparently.
Barbecued poodles. But perhaps frog legs.
Look, we really appreciate everybody tuning in live and having some fun with us, man. We always enjoy doing that. And hey, if you want to be part of the live show, you can, of course, join us on Monday nights at countrysquireradio.com. You can tune in at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Again, that's countrysquireradio.com. You can also keep up with us throughout the week. You can follow me. I'm at The Real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And, of course, all that information and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com. Well,
dude, I had fun tonight.
I did too.
I know. I'm glad we rolled out the hamster scale.
This
the over the counter proprietary Country Squire radio rating system.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous about putting this one out. I just have a little. I know that it's gonna rub somebody the wrong way.
I want to hear from a Largo smoker.
All right,
that's the goal. If we can hear from a Largo smoker, I think we will have accomplished something.
I feel like this is I feel like with the soapbox episode, we kind of kicked off a new series. This one, obviously it'll have a name before it goes out there, but we're beginning a new series that's kind of a cousin to that one, where I kind of feel like we're just kind of dancing on the line here a little bit.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We'll show our cards a little bit, but
Well, one way or the other, it's all coming of a place of pure disgust. So.
That's exactly. Just own it, baby. Just own it.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's go have a night.
I'll see you, brother.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Y'all are awesome.
Great, y'all. Yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for hanging out. See you.